Hey guys, this is Envy from Underdog and welcome back to my NHL betting model projections and predictions for today, Tuesday, 24th October 2023. And I have two qualified bets. Yesterday I had Boston against Anaheim. They beat Anaheim, and so far 1-1 with positive closing line value number. Small loss. And let's continue with projections. Okay. So if you're new to the channel, I simply use my betting model. I select the team, select the goalie. First, I check the lineups, then add bookmakers odds, and then the betting model will calculates the value and identify the value. Okay, so let's start with the first game. Toronto Maple Leafs against Washington Capitals. I have Joseph Voll against Darcy Kemper. Based on my projections, there is maybe small value with Washington. They should be smaller underdog, so I have them at plus 113, bookmakers plus 151. But based on my preset criteria, okay, which is 1.49, I should make it like this. So I'm looking for 1.5 or bigger. This is still not qualified. Okay, so but if I need to pick any team, I would probably maybe go with Puckline Washington because there is maybe small value with them. As I mentioned in my previous videos, one of the challenges with NHL is goal information because we never really know who will be in the net unless we have confirmed goalies. But if you check all the games, maybe 2-3 goalies are confirmed, and even they can change sometimes. So this is a little bit tricky because the goalies will move the line as well. But I try to use two different sites or even three to check what is probable goalies, and I make projections with these goalies. Okay, and my goal is to make 20 units. Okay, so I will simply my goal units exit minus 30 units. Okay, so we know. Okay, so I have a strategy and the goal what I want to achieve this season. Okay, Anaheim Ducks, Columbus Blue Jackets. I didn't have bookmakers odds, at least Pinnacle odds. There are some shady bookmakers, soft bookmakers, where you can bet $5 per game. I didn't put these odds because once the serious bookmakers will open the lines will be much sharper. The limits will be bigger too, but these soft bookmakers will also move the line quickly. So what I will do, I will probably reproject the games with new goals, with new information later, if I will have time, and then I will place this here on my website. If you go on underdogchance.com, click on picks, and you can select NHL picks, and then I will probably share it here. Okay, I will. If I will add some picks, I will share it here too. Okay, but I try to share picks on YouTube channel and also on my website, some of the picks, because when it comes to picks, I also like to comment a couple of things, not only about picks, because picks are only 1% of everything. 99% is analyzing the games, understanding the game, understanding betting strategy and mindset and everything else. Okay, and when I make a video, I can comment a couple of these things. Okay, and one interesting thing, I received messages in last couple of days from some people who said I am betting only ice hockey. I think this is not good approach, because what I like to say, sports must choose you, not vice versa. Because people who are emotionally involved in betting, or they bet because they love sport or because they love team, they might never make any money, and many of them don't make any money because they simply bet what they love, and they love something. They bet something that they love because they don't have their own strategy and their own betting concepts and the knowledge. They didn't focus on this aspect. And once you focus on the aspect of betting, on the spreadsheets, on betting models, on probabilities, on analyzing the games, then you can bet any sport you want. And once you have, I don't know, 10, 15 leagues or sports available, then you can research all, and then you find two or three which will fit to you, to your knowledge, to your ability, to your time. You're not emotionally involved, and then you separate what you love to watch. So you can still watch college football, ice hockey, if you love this sport, but then you make money with some other sports, and you look at this only as a business, right? So only as a business and nothing else. But of course, this is something I preach for. So 2015, 2023, I preach this for years now, but I don't know if anybody hears this. Still, most people bet the sports they love, which is also okay, because sports betting can also be great fun, okay. But I'm more here to talk about the numbers and the spreadsheets and my way of betting, okay. Sometimes I also hear the message, this is not okay, this is not okay. Well, completely legit comment. So why you don't open YouTube channel and share your views, your strategy, your picks? YouTube is free. You can do this with phone, with computer. Anyone can share, and then we can compare, share ideas, because only two people who actually take the action, who actually do the things, can talk in a same room, right? And complain, or not complain, but give critiques. I don't see a point where one person makes comments and critiques the other person, but only one is doing something, right? So I think this is not the right room. It is not the same level. So only when we have two people who do the same thing, so one is doing with one strategy, with one way, the second one is also doing the thing, not just following. And when they sit together, then they can share ideas, then they can share critiques, then then only then they can comment other works. I think if anyone is not doing anything, is just following, I think such person doesn't have the right to comment or make any critiques. Of course, this is my view on the world. It's not only about betting, right? I never like in my life, for example, movies like Scary Movie or Hotspot, those movies that were making fun of other movies, right? Because at one side you have a movie like, I don't know, Top Gun, which was a good movie, and then the other person who cannot make any movie, the only thing he can do is making fun of other people's work, right? So I don't respect such things. But of course, if you have Ridley Scott and if you have, I don't know, Tarantino, both are doing different movies, different genre, and then they sit in a room, and of course they can share ideas, they can critique others, and this is something, I think this is more fair, right? But this is how I see the world. I'm not saying that this is right, or this is just how I see it. And I'm, of course, not, this is just only one person opinion. Okay. Let's move to the next games. Buffalo Sabres, Ottawa Senators. No value, not no value, because I simply don't have the odds. The same with Carolina, New Jersey Devils. As you see, those are my projected probabilities, my projected totals, my projected goals, and I'm not focusing on totals at all, but those are my projected odds in decimal and American odds. Okay, and then we have a couple of other games. Dallas Stars against Penguins. Based on my projections, Dallas should be plus 108. Bookmakers, Pittsburgh minus 108. Bookmakers have a very similar number. This number suggests that there is not enough value. San Jose Sharks, Florida, not qualified. Avalanche Islanders also not qualified. Seattle, Detroit, based on my projections, maybe small value with Seattle to almost be a qualified bet at 2.22. Maybe if we can get them at 2.35, something like that. And of course, the goalies would also play a role in such analysis, because if the bet is almost qualified, then small details can be important. So later, maybe if you can grab good odds, if the goals are the same or different, and if you have the betting model, you can then reproject and maybe find the value. But at this moment, I don't see a value yet. Boston, Chicago Blackhawks, Ulmark, Soderblom, based on my projections, no value. I have Boston at 1.40, bookmakers 1.44, so no value. Edmonton, Minnesota, no, St. Louis, Winnipeg, no value. My numbers and bookmakers' numbers are basically the same. 1.53 on Winnipeg, 1.54. This is the same. Maybe in the next minute, uh, the odds were 1.53, 52, maybe 55. So those are very small differences. And I'm looking for much bigger difference, right? Edmonton, Minnesota, based on my projections, Edmonton should be small favorite. I didn't check the latest odds, so maybe later I will make reprojections, and as I said, I will then share on my website if I find something useful, or also below in the comment in below in the video. Okay, Rangers Calgary Flames. This is my first qualified bet. I have Calgary Flames as a small favorite. Bookmakers have them as a small underdog, and because of that, Calgary is a value bet today at 1.5 unit. I have this criteria, so everything between 2 and 2.75 is 1.5 units. So this is in that range. The next game, Arizona against Los Angeles. I have Ingram against Talbot. Based on my projections, as you see, this number suggests that there is a value. So I have Los Angeles Kings at 1.38 in decimal, bookmakers 1.56. So there is some difference. And based on my Kelly criterion formula, Los Angeles at 1.56 is 1.5 unit play. Okay. And the last game, Flyers, Vegas Knights, no value. So that's it for me today. I was a little bit longer, but if you watch my videos from time to time, I share some of my views about betting, about life, about anything. And of course, this can also change. At some point, I can change this view too, because sometimes people say, you were saying a little bit differently 2 years ago. Of course, we should evolve, right? So I'm not thinking the same like I was thinking 10 years ago. And in next 5 years, maybe I will be saying completely different things. And if you bet on sports, you know that market is changing and you need to evolve. And if you bet like you bet 10 or 15 years ago, then you're not making any money, right? We need to evolve. In next 5 years, we need to evolve. And this is why such community like we have with betting masterclass and all the things, this is great because you can connect, and then we can figure out together some things, because in next years we will need to figure out some new things. Sides will change, stats will change, the markets will change. Maybe I don't know, maybe spreadsheets will be outdated, and then we will find a new solution. Sports betting is always about finding new solutions and evolving. Most people, although they probably know how this works, they are simply looking for fixed solutions. So one solution and which will work forever. This is not how the things work, right? I had a great conversation with one of our members last week, and he asked me something like, I don't know, so what kind of tips and so on. And this is something I like to say. So what is your passion? Okay, so his passion was guitar, playing guitar, and I told him, so what would you tell yourself if you want to teach someone to play a guitar? And I think this is a great example. Okay, I believe that every person is an expert at something. So if you watch this video, you're probably expert at singing, playing tennis, playing a guitar, I don't know, maybe gardening, I don't know. Every single person is passionate and expert at something. So when you ask anything about sports betting, ask yourself, how would you coach yourself if you would, I don't know, play a guitar, or what is your passion? Or if I come to you, what would you tell me? Okay, if I want to learn your way or your skill, right? And the answer would be probably the same. You need to practice a lot. You need to do this on every single day, play a guitar every day, play tennis every day. You need to be passionate. The same is with sports betting. So I didn't discover a hot water, right? So if I want to play a guitar and if I want just some quick tip, I will not become successful in playing a guitar or playing a tennis or playing I don't know, whatever, right? The problem is only with sports betting that you're losing money if you're not taking seriously. If you play a guitar, or if you play tennis, then nothing will happen, right? But people who bet for 20 years and they don't know how to bet and they just look for picks, they're losing money for 20 years, and then this can be a problem, right? So the answer is always the same. So no matter what you do in life, uh, the answer is always the same, right? So how would you coach your son, for example, your son? So if you're a father and you are passionate about one thing, whatever this is, right? Maybe, I don't know, whatever. As I said, it can be playing a guitar, it can be being a lawyer, playing tennis, playing baseball, whatever you're passionate, because every single person is really good at something. So how would you coach your son? What would you tell him? Would you tell him go to YouTube, get some quick tips, and then play? I don't know. No, I think this is not how he will succeed. Right? You will probably tell him train every day, be disciplined, learn as much as possible, invest your time, energy, and effort into becoming better. This is why fathers bring sons to the training. They invest in themselves so they can become better in sport, in the school, in college, everything, right? Only in sports betting I see that people are just looking for quick fixes, some magical bullets, where they will spend 5 minutes of time and then they will magically make a lot of money. This is not how the things are, right? So just use common sense. How would you coach your son about the thing you are passionate about, right? And this is my answer to sports betting as well. I'm passionate about sports betting, and this is why I'm talking about these things. If I want to coach someone, I will tell you exactly the things I would do. But of course, once you have the tools and the knowledge, then this process is much, much faster than if you need to start from the scratch. And this is why such things are great. Okay, so that's it for me today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.